Greetings and welcome from Jeddah for what promises to be a sensational slice of world-class motorsport. We're off to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah Street Circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Andrea Kimi Antonelli lines up on pole position, and Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Tsunoda, Russell, Max Verstappen and Leclerc, Hamilton, Norris, Stroll and Fernando Alonso, Sainz, Albon, Isaac Hadjar and Lawson, Bortoletto, Hülkenberg, Ollie Behrman and Pierre Gasly. Ocon and Jack Doohan rounds off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And alongside me today, former Formula One driver and former world champion too. See, told you I'd give you a big intro. Anthony Davidson, hello. Now, I'll be generous here. It's not that long ago that you were racing and entertaining us on a Sunday. But in the years since, the sport has changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has, Crofty. You know, the cars have got bigger, they're heavier, but critically, there's more downforce to play with as well now. There was around 4 tons of downforce on the car at 300 kilometres an hour when I drove. You're now looking more towards 5 tons of downforce. So there's a big difference in performance. But because of that, the car being heavier and bigger, you've got to drive in a smoother way. You've got to look after it a bit more. You've got to nurse it through the slow speed corners more. They were much more nimble, agile machines when I drove in Formula 1 compared to now.
All right, let's have a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Okay, you've got a drive-through penalty. You've been given a drive-through penalty. Okay, radio check, radio check. Okay, DRS is now available. That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done. Okay, you've just started the final lap of the race. Final lap.
Was a nice car, very nice car, amazing car.
Very well done.
The checkered flag is out. The crowd roar their approval for Yuki Tsunoda.
And that's 2 wins in a row now, of course, Crofty. And it marks the fact that it's not a fluke. So, you know, their head's in the right space. What more can we see going forwards?
It's time to bring out the bubbly and spray it around. It's our podium celebrations. And the little man towers over the rest. It's the top step of the podium for Yuki Tsunoda. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next. Formula One has arrived in the Sunshine State for spectacular sunsets, gentle breezes, warm waters, and for what will be a fantastic race day here at the Miami International Autodrome. A lap of the Miami Grand Prix features 3.36 miles of track around the Hard Rock Stadium, and 19 corners make up the Miami International Autodrome, which will challenge the drivers in a tight wheel-to-wheel race. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Tsunoda, George Russell and Antonelli, Piastri, Verstappen, Lawson and Isaac Hadjar, Albon, Stroll, Carlos Sainz and Fernando Alonso, Behrman, Ocon, Jack Doohan and Pierre Gasly. Hulkenberg and Gabriel Bortoleto rounds off the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And alongside me a man, well, what more can I say? But he's a legend. Anthony Davidson. Look, we know it's not where you start, it's where you finish. But let's talk about the start now. What's there to help the drivers get away well?
Big pressure at the start of the race, Crofty, for all of them up and down the grid, no matter where you are. But the drivers these days, they practice, practice and practice. They have rigs with them at the circuit where they can sit down with the actual steering wheel from the real car, and they've got lights that they react to. The clutch paddle is tailored around the driver's hands, around their fingers, so they can have optimum position before they start. So there's so much thought and effort that goes into getting these cars off the line.
Okay, radio check, radio check. can now use DRS. DRS now available. Great work, that's a new fastest lap of the race. Okay, this is your final lap of the race.
Congratulations for your achievement.
Looked like you had plenty of energy the rest of the race, so well done.
Yuki Tsunoda takes the checkered flag and wins.
And they're just starting to make it look easy out there. Now a hat-trick of wins. They're out there ahead. They've got the momentum on their side. And it's for the others now to try and up their game to stop that energy that they have.
From lights out to the checkered flag, each and every driver has this moment in the back of their mind. Now it's time for their celebrations. Our podium, it awaits. What a victory for a very popular young man. Yuki Tsunoda takes the top step today. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.